It is very peculiar to continue to watch all of these Hollywood celebrities continue to mention how scared they are about being sent to prison or jail or whatever else by Trump, and it makes you wonder why. Why are they so nervous about all of that? Well, today we have George Clooney, who is also showing that he is absolutely petrified about Trump. And this whole thing is absolutely crazy. We have the video of him talking about this, and let's just say that he's absolutely terrified about Trump and what Trump could do to him, as are many celebrities out there. They're all panicking. They continue to panic over Trump, and that is a very interesting thing to continue to watch. We have George Clooney talking about this in this crazy video, and we're gonna get into this and see what is going on. George Clooney, everybody worries about being targeted by Trump. Maybe you and all of your little elitist cronies over in Hollywood are, but the majority of us are pretty okay with where we are at with Trump. But he talks about this in this video, so let's go ahead and check this out and see just how much George Clooney is scared and panicking about Trump in this video today.
Asked to do it. Do you worry about, I mean, personally being targeted by the administration?
Sure, everybody worries about it.
We've heard so many celebrities talk about this and say these types of things. Ben Stiller, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar. They've talked about how they're scared about going to jail now that Trump is president, and it makes you wonder what do they know that we don't know yet? Because they all are talking about it. Why are they continuing to talk about this? We know that people like Mel Gibson, who absolutely despises a lot of the trafficking stuff that goes on and a lot of the horrific things that Hollywood engages in, we know that he despises that crap, and he is an ambassador for Trump, for Hollywood. So this whole thing is just crazy, and it makes you wonder what is actually going on here.
Spend your life worrying about things, then you won't do things. You know, we, like everybody, have a family, we have a life, and we have, and we try to.
And you can tell that he's trying to play this off like he's really cool about it, guys. He's okay with it. You know, he's terrified, but he's super cool. You know, he has a family. He has just a wonderful life, trying to pretend like, you know, everything's just hunky-dory and his life is just glamour and all that type of stuff. Everything's fine, guys. Yeah, we know what's going on here.
You know, live and do the things as the best example for our kids. And I want to be able to look at my kids in the eye and say where we stood and what we did at certain times in history, and I have no problem with that, and my wife certainly doesn't. My wife's the bravest person you've ever met, and you know, my wife spent 2 years in a.
This is the type of cope that people always go on about whenever they are like caught doing something that they don't want to be caught doing, where they will then start to, you know, talk about all of the amazing things that they've done and how great their life is. They have kids, they have a wife, their wife is so brave, all this type of stuff. This is the type of stuff, this is a coping mechanism that we are seeing from George Clooney right now.
Bunker in Beirut, trying Hezbollah. You know, she's the bravest person I've ever met in my life. And so, you know, we have other issues besides just worried about an American administration that might want to be unkind and say bad things about us.
So everything is wonderful, guys. George Clooney is such a wonderful human being. Just you heard him talk about it, guys. He talked about how brave his wife is and all of this type of stuff. His life is just amazing. He is a saint, guys. And well, he has other thoughts about everything that's going on, where he is very excited about the day where he no longer has to worry about Trump. And this whole thing is crazy what he says here. So he told Anderson Cooper in the same interview, where Anderson Cooper asked him, do you think Trumpism lasts beyond this term? And George Clooney responded with this, where he, of course, has the dream that he can put all of this behind him, that somehow he can escape unscathed from all of this. Don't think so. I think it would be very hard to do it. Remember this, Trump is a celebrity. That's what he is. He has a star in Hollywood, a star on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't have a star. So when he is finished, and he will be finished, they will have to go looking for somebody delivering the message he delivered with the same kind of charisma, and they don't have that. So this is just pure cope coming from people like George Clooney, as we can see here today. So with that being said, let me know what you think about what George Clooney is saying here today. It is very obvious that he is coping. He's trying to play it cool, but there's a lot of other things that are going on here in Hollywood that has a lot of these people very scared, and they probably should be scared. So with that being said, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.